Thank you and welcome back to the channel. Now, I know if you've watched the other video there or there, I'll link to it. I did do a bait spoon. Now, a baiting spoon for carp fishing is a spoon that enables you to put it on the end of a pole, a homemade pole. I'll link to my video where I did a homemade pole. It enables you to put your bait and rig right on the spot. So in the summer months you can put it into the lily pads right between the lilies and stuff like that. Especially helpful and fantastic if the lake doesn't allow you to use a bait boat, or you can't afford a bait boat, or you're just an anti-bait boat person. They're a fantastic bit of kit to use. So now in the last video, I will link to it. In the last video, I must admit, I did a bit of a float test on my pool, which I'm going to do now with this one. Brand new model. It's the same body, but the floats have been modified slightly. Put some fantastic chamfers on there to give it a little bit more streamlined look. I've elongated the length of the mouth slightly, so this is protruding more, so it gives you more buoyancy, and that's slightly lower. I'm not sure whether I'm going to send these in the post to you glued up or not, but basically in short, they go like so. I'm not sure if you can see it because of the colours, but basically a long piece there, long piece sticking up there, it literally just slides in there like so, okay? It's like a dovetail joint there. And then this one, let me just do it here, this one just slides in there. But I'll probably glue them up, I'm not sure, a little bit of glue, but they go in there lovely like that. You've got your 3/8 thready portion in there. I can do a different fitting if you so require, if you want to fit it on your different pole fitting, but normally you have that sort of fitting on there. If you make up your own pole with following my video, I do a little bung to glue in the ends as well. But that is the bait boat. It's wider than the original one. Much better in my opinion. I've just tried it out and floated it. Floated it, is that a word? I've tried it out in the pool. It works a lot better. This will be the final version for sale. If you fill that right up to the top, you're going to get all your bait in there. You've got your lead pocket, bait pocket, boilie pocket and magnet for your hook. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to link to all the other videos, but this is the final product. I love this product. The way these slide in that is brilliant. I say probably put a little dab of glue on there. And as someone pointed out as well, you've got the high front there, so when you're out in a bit of a choppy water, a bit windy, you're not going to get a load of water splash out the front. And so I'm going to get me brought out now in the pool of the garden with some bait in there, pop up and lead, just see the stability of it. I might do a little tip test, get a camera underwater and film it underwater, see what we've got. Let's go now, come on. I'm looking forward to this. This is a lot better. So I'm in my pool here. So this is the rig I've got at the moment. It's a bit awkward, I've got the weight there. It's quite handy because it's just got on it's on a screw, this one. I'll unscrew that, launch that over there. Yeah, this is a mainline pop up. I'll screw that on there. Drop that in the water and see if that pops up. If it does, then we're going to do the test. That's popping up lovely, look. So that's the bit of video footage and hopefully some nice music with the pop-up, the mainline pop-up. Now let me just see what it was I put on there just for testing Paul. It's quite an old one actually. It's a fluoro pop-up, pink and white, essential cell by mainline. Actually it's quite a good little test box underwater. The water's a bit cloudy, we've not used the pool for a couple of days, well weeks actually. So there's the new, this is the new baiting spoon. This is the homemade handle with the bung. So you screw that in there like so. I'm just going to do it loose for now. As I say, this is ideal for getting your bait out on the spot, on the overhanging branches in the winter, lily pads in the summer, or a bit of both. Places where you cannot cast, places where you're not allowed to use a bait boat, all those places where you just don't want to use a bait boat, you can't afford a bait boat. Some people don't like bait boats. Okay, this is a cheaper option. If you make your own pole and you use this, it's a far cheaper option. I'm loading it up with some bait, put it in, and we'll do a little test. So let's do that now. Handful of pellets, and what you do, obviously you put more than that in. I put a handful of pellets in, and some, I don't know, but well, this pole's going in the bin anyway, it's got a small hole in it, we'll get a new one next year. Put a handful of pellets in, obviously you load that right up the boilies and your lead. I've moved these floats apart, and if you can see that, the width of those, so you've got much more stability now. So let's go over there and try it out. Do a little tip test. Get around there. So there's our baiting spoon at the moment. We'll get the rig. You put the lid in there. Now if we're going to tip to the right, if you put your line to the right in the slot here, fill that right to the top with as much as you want. You can have different size boilers on the front end there because I've made that a nice wide pocket. You can put that through that slot if you want, you don't need to. And then optional, you can use the magnet there. The idea is it all falls out. Alright, so you got your magnet there holding it up. You can even put it like that if you want. Alright, or you can put it like that. You might have 3 or 4 boilers in there, it's up to you. So we'll put it like that for now. And that's going to be loaded full up with bait, boilies, loose feed, pellets and stuff like that. And then we feed it in. Because the pool's so small, obviously, it's dipping down a little bit, but you've got far more buoyancy on that. What I'm going to do, I'll take this pole off, just so we can see. Take this handle off here. Right. You can see straight away you've got far more buoyancy there, you can load that right up. So what I'm going to do, hopefully do a little tip test. So what I'm going to do, filming, I'll bring it in. I'm going to tip that to the left, put that to the left. So. You bring it out like that. And then this. Then you just slowly, once you've dumped your bait on your spot, you slowly bring it in. Look at that, and that floats. You know why that floats. The stability of that. I hope you can see that. Look, how stable that is. Far, far better. This is the final version. This will be on sale. Well pleased with that. Thank you for watching. That's the life of John Bait Spoon. I hope you enjoyed that footage. It's a little bit cloudy. The water was a little bit cloudy. We've not used the pool for ages. Having said that, it's a bit even flipping cloudier now. I'm going to get told off by the missus because it's full of bait. Quite a good experiment though, because I'd love to get a little tank and do it in the future before I go out to the water next, because I noticed quite a few of those pellets were floating about. But obviously if you put it in a PVA bag, it's going to take it right to the bottom. But that was just a little test. I didn't want to go mad because it's my garden pool. Obviously you fill that right up to the top with baits, sweet corn, pellet, loose feed. You can even put a PVA bag in there. This is the life of John Bait Spoon. As I say, you've got the lead area at the back there. You've got a massive pocket there. It doesn't look too big, it's not too wide, but it's quite high. It's higher than any on the market, I think. I think it's got this front end which is high. Stop the old splash overs and that. And then you've got the magnet at the front, which is fantastic. If you watch that, it all fell down. If you watch the underwater footage, you'll hopefully, it's not too cloudy, you'll notice that the lead went down, pulling the rig with it, all the bait fell down. The hook bait was last, floating up. Pile it right up, sweet corn, loose feed, whatever you want. Lovely bit of kit, and it's it takes a, let me just take this off the pole in a minute. It takes a 4.5mm diameter night light, which you can buy packets and packets of them off of these little things here. You can buy packets and packets of these for virtually nothing off of Amazon. I'll put a link below. I'll put a link to my video where I made my own pole. There you go, look at that. And they'll be supplied in a fantastic packing box like so. Look at that. If you want a different fit, you want a different adapter on the end there, let me know, because I can put a hole in there and make it fit other poles, rival poles. I'm not going to mention any names. Beautiful bit of kit. Great for winter fishing under those branches where you can't cast. Get those stealthy little carp in the margins. There's the box. It packs up nicely in there. Shut the box up like so. There you go. Birthday, Christmas coming up, birthday present, Father's Day, what a gift. Father's Day's not till June 16th, what am I talking about? Brilliant. So that comes to you in the post, wrapped up in some bubble wrap as well, nice and safe. I may or may not glue the floats in yet, I'm not sure, depending on the packing. But you just slide them on and off like so. In my opinion, this is the best baiting spoon you can get at the moment. The fantastic thing is I've done this with a dovetail groove, so I can make different size floats if I want, glue them on. I'm even thinking of making a wider one, but lovely bit of kit. Get them while you can. I'm going to do this in short numbers initially, see what sort of feedback I get. But yeah, so glad I made these wider. I've got about 5 or 6 of these throwing in the bin. I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with something. I'm not going to sell something to people, especially my fellow carp buddies, that's not going to flow properly and be proper buoyant. This is the one. This is the one you want. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Links up there, below there. Like, subscribe for many more videos. Bye bye.